I have so many. I have back-to-back calls until 1 o'clock today.
I'm a bit the same today, and a face-to-face meetup. So I'm doing lots of running around.
I've decided to stay online. I don't know if I'll ever do face-to-face again.
This is a Christmas party, so we're live.
Okay. Oh, hi. Hello.
Yes. How are you? So it's a Christmas party and a birthday party because I celebrate my birthday this month as well. So
happy birthday.
Good morning, all those beautiful people out there. How are you all? Welcome to Creating Abundance with Style, and welcome to this morning's virtual coffee with the beautiful communication queen, Carmel Murphy. Carmel, it's lovely to have you here, Carmel.
It's lovely to be here, Lucia. Thank you so much for having me. I feel as if I'm semi-naked, but it's 41 degrees in Perth today, so you'll have to excuse me. I do have clothes on.
Have you got your bathers on? Like getting ready?
No, I've got my happy pants on though.
Awesome. So we've spoken about those happy pants before.
Yeah.
So have you got a cold drink and some? Yeah, cool. I've got my
big bottle of water.
Peppermint tea.
Yes, I love my peppermint tea with water today.
Yeah, so we're going to have a little chat this morning about you and what you do and how you help women in your business. So tell us a little bit about yourself though first.
Rightio. So we'll do the brief summary. So as most people will hear, I'm from Ireland originally, although I have been in Australia for 32 years. So my Irish family reckon I sound like an Aussie, although everybody here tends to differ. Youngest of 5 daughters, moved out here, as I say, 32 years ago, have worked in hospitality really most of my life. Yeah, I started as a 16-year-old in Ireland, not knowing what I wanted to do. But I do remember looking at the manager when I was a waitress and thinking, they don't really do much, so I want to be one of them. Which I did, but discovered they didn't do much. But about 11 years ago now, I was in a recruitment, and I always remember we had an after hours phone, I had a state manager phone and my personal phone, and we used to supply staff, at all hours of the day, waitresses, chefs and whatever. And I remember this weekend in particular, I was the state manager, so I had my phone. I also had the after hours phone, it was my turn, and my personal phone. And they were ringing. It was crazy. I was trying, all these staff were on standby. And then when the phone, after hours phone was ringing, then my state manager phone started ringing. It's like, oh my God. And then my personal phone started ringing because some of the people I had worked with years before, trying to get staff. And I just remember standing there and going, I can't keep doing this. I just can't. I actually burst into tears. So I went looking for something else. Well, what do I love to do? I love working with people, yada, yada. And as so many of us do, I came across coaching.
Yeah.
So I trained to be a coach because when I'm qualified, they're going to want to work with me, right?
Yes, exactly.
And look, I did the revolving door that I think so many of us have done then. I always coached on the side. In actual fact, I became a mentor for brand new coaches. I facilitated meetings for the school that I learned in. Like I was getting rave feedback, but I couldn't freaking market myself. Nobody knew who I was. And to say I always say I fell into marketing, and that's kind of where I am now. And it was because of that I started working a lot deeper with a mentor. And one of the things he said to me, which I had always heard, who's your ideal client? Who's your avatar? I've got, oh my God, this bloody thing again. But I worked at it, and I had a situation that sounds dreadful. It was actually 4 years ago yesterday, my sister passed away. But she had been ill for 15 months. And I always remember when she was diagnosed, something in me started to change. And when she passed away, something broke inside me is probably the best way to say it. And she was 58 years old, had everything ready, was going to retire, when do all her things when she retire. And then snap, she was gone. And it was like, So, and our poor dad actually died shortly afterwards. And something in me just literally went, nah. What am I doing playing small? Oh, look, for a little family that had no grief,
Yeah.
It was like thrown in the bloody deep end.
Yeah.
That said, I'm so grateful. I come from a place of being grateful that these people were in my life, but something definitely broke me open in a way I could never go back the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
And a big surge of, I'm running out of time. And also, why am I playing small?
Yeah.
Why am I, afraid to say? So from then on, I just went, as I said, working deeper with a mentor, went, excuse me, I won't swear, but I'll imply it. I said, F this.
Yeah.
I'm going to just, whatever it takes, I'm going to do it. It's about the journey. We're not getting a bloody trophy at the end of all this at the end of the day.
We end up the same, don't we, unfortunately? Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is it. And I kind of went, well, so I've done a lot more training. I've worked deeper with a mentor. Last year, I actually went to Ireland and I ran my first ever event in Ireland, which I'd always wanted to do, but I wait till my parents and everybody passes away to do it. But anyway, so I ran a 4-day event and I also ran a retreat. So I hired a big house, we had a retreat, and then did a few bucket list items, went to Greece and Italy while I was over there, and really have just opened up. And since then, have been helping other people because, of course, they're going, hang on, Carmel, how are you getting seen everywhere? Because somebody started calling me Carmel everywhere. And it was purely because I did a few courses as well. I wanted to get more awareness, and I just kept going. I just kept failing forward.
Yeah.
So now I teach people how to get the right message to the right person at the right time, so that they can grow their business and scale it. And we do it online now with COVID. It turned everything and put it online.
Everything.
And
Totally.
you know what? I was resistant. I had a 2-day workshop coming up just as COVID hit.
First COVID.
And I was kind of resistant to put it online, but of course I did for COVID. Best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
Best thing I ever did. Yeah. And because people were pushed into doing online stuff as well, then more people, it opened it up interstate, internationally. It was,
It's a huge market now, isn't it? It's just opened it up to the world for you.
Oh, I've been doing speaking at summits in the US and everything now. It's like, oh my God, what's going on?
Incredible.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, Carmel, that you said from that, those experiences that pivoted you and made you make that decision not to play small. And I think that's
1,000,000%. Yeah.
So many people do it, don't they? They're happy in their comfort zone. Where they're comfortable, they've got all their loved ones around them, they're just happy doing and playing small. And it's that something that snaps and you go, well, you're not going to get out of this, any other way.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because sometimes that does happen, and I'm not saying I'm an exception to a rule or like that, but I think you and I would both know when you've done a bit of work on yourself, sometimes that does happen, but the people just stay there. They just flip. They don't know how to get out of it.
Yes,
exactly. And I'm not saying I'm out of it or anything like that, and I don't think that grief goes away. I think you just get better at dealing with it, and you have to have a certain outlook. But I see so many people and they get stuck in that, oh, why did this happen to me? And flipping it. And that's why I've worked really hard to make sure to come from a place of being grateful to have had those people in my life.
Yes, absolutely.
Gives you a whole different view of how you look at it.
Yeah. And it's part of your personal development. Pardon me. You developing personally, that you are grateful for those people being in your life,
Yeah.
So your business now, you
yes.
said that you were in hospitality and then you've gone into coaching, but your business now is completely marketing and coaching together, is it? Or can you explain your business now?
Yeah, sure. So the Communication Queen actually came out of a coaching session 10 or 11 years ago, and it was a whole different business than it is now, but it still comes under the same umbrella. So when I left hospitality, I started teaching people leadership and team building, all of that sort of thing. But again, couldn't market myself out of a bloody brown paper bag is probably But then when I started to really get some traction, people are going, how are you doing that? And I went, oh, maybe I can help other people to do that. So we have a membership now, for example, so people can come in, our members come in every week, and it's anything to do with marketing or business. They ask their questions. So we talk marketing funnels, we talk about marketing plans. Sometimes it's just that somebody will come in and get a question and they go, I have a CRM, I have a website, and that won't talk to that. And we will just answer that question there to them. So under the right message, right person, right time is like, how are you communicating with your audience? And we can't control the time part. And I often use this as an example. If I talk about highlighters and I'm telling you the benefits of highlighters, I love highlighters, this is an orange one and I have a yellow one and blah, blah. But if all I talk about is highlighters, you will hear my message. But when the time is right that you need a highlighter, you will say, Carmel's the girl to go to. Yeah. So that's what we teach people, is to really hone their core messages. Yeah. So that, and we make it in a little bit of a disruptive way, and using a lot of psychology of sales about, you know, like that's why right message, right person, right time, that comes out of the psychology of the rule of three, which is used by all the big boys in marketing. So yeah, so we do video training, we do copywriting. So it's never just me. I work quite closely with a young copywriter who's amazing. Yes. And then we collaborate with some other people where necessary. You know, I don't know everything. I'm not going to even pretend I do. So we sometimes bring other people in to actually, with their speciality, to actually train in that area.
Beautiful. So bringing in other skills, which is a really good thing too. It's
to collaborate with people, you know.
People is amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it when you said, oh yes, I'll come in, I'll have a chat and talk about, you know, everything. So do you have a go-to style, Carmel?
That was interesting. So I would classify myself as not a stylish person at all. But there you go. But I do know from, you know, doing a lot of in-person networking and things like that. Number one, my lippy seems to be a thing. My lippy seems to be a colour. And has now become, people used to say, you're the girl with the glasses. I go, what? Because I've only worn glasses as I'm older.
Yes.
So I do have slightly pinky glasses and obviously the nails and my grey hair. So that's before I put any clothes on. So if I'm going out to networking things, I'm very corporate, for want of a better word. I usually have a jacket. I will always try and dress at least 1 to 2 levels higher than the audience I'm presenting to. Yeah. So it's usually black pants, black heels, and a black jacket. Yeah. Probably in Australian summer is not a great idea. Let's be honest about it. But yeah, depending on the environment, it probably is the hair like this, the pink. And I don't even know how I ever ended up with pink, but it just seems to suit me. So I usually have a pink or a teal shirt with the jacket and pants.
Jacket, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds lovely, and I like what you said about the corporate sort of look. Because I know that your go-to style a lot of times when you're doing Zoom chats is your comfy pants, you know, your
when people can't see it, if you could see my pants now, it's literally like a multicolored jigsaw. Yeah, like that's it.
I do the same. I have my what are they called? They're just a casual pant, but you can dress them up or down. They've got a leaf print on them, right? So they're just an easy to wear pant, very comfortable when you're sitting for any length of time. Yes. So I guess when you think about dressing corporate and Zoom, is there a challenge there about how you want to come across? You know, like you were saying today, it looks like you know, only got your straps kind of thing, and then because it's so warm where you are.
Yeah.
Is that a challenge sometimes to get that medium? You know that.
Look, it can be. I'm quite focus specific. I'm trying to think of the right word for it. So that's why I said to you when I got on this, I went, oh, I'm not sure, because this is the first time I've even gone bare shoulders like this. However, I still show up for every meeting. I'll have my makeup done, I'll have my hair done. Like, I'm still showing up what would be acceptable in Western Australia on a 41-degree day. Yeah, I wouldn't even go down to the shops really in the pants I have on, but nobody can see that on Zoom. So, you know, I see a lot of people, so I do a lot of, you know, networking online and that, and there's so many people and they come on and they've got their hair down and it's like, you need to present yourself in this forum the same as you would in person, as far as I'm concerned. And I would go to a networking thing with a jacket on over this and take it off when I was in the heat, 100%. So I don't think it's challenged. Sometimes I have a giggle at myself because I literally have, you know, in the winter, a pair of slippers on, a pair of tracky decks. But from here up on this, I will look completely professional. And I think that we have to, because if you want to work with people, and I get it, you know, we all look a bit daggy sometimes, but if you want to work with somebody and you're presenting yourself to work with them, you have to show up in a certain way. And it's the same with, like, I have lighting in the room as well, so that I'm not looking all
shadow.
Whatever.
It's shadows. And it's a reflection, isn't it? It's a reflection of your business and how you are going to treat your clients. So
well, people talk a lot about brand, and it's actually one of the things that I've been talking about in America for interesting enough. And it's like, you are your brand. Absolutely. Like, at the level we're at, you are your brand. Like, do I have lots of stuff behind me that I can give you access to? 100%. But if you don't see the door that you want to come through, that doesn't matter.
No, that's right. And it's true what you say about Zoom chats. You know, we have these people that are professionals that are coming in there, and you know, and it's kind of off-putting. So I guess your greatest achievements then with style would be the little black jacket. Would I be right in saying that for you?
Greatest achievement with style. Okay. Don't know if I would call the little black jacket my greatest achievement, only because I fell into it because I was corporate. I had to wear that when I was, you know, state manager of a recruitment company. It was expected. Greatest achievement in style. That's a fascinating question. I would say it's more, I'm thinking it's kind of a culmination of clothing, and it's more this style now.
It's the whole.
It's more this style, because I have my hair long, I had it up in a ponytail. So it's kind of more creating this style, and a style of, I would classify it as smart casual. I never go out to meet anyone, even if it's in the coffee shop, in less than would be acceptable in any office.
Beautiful.
So I don't know what greatest achievement is, other than
I think that's understanding your brand.
It's
understanding that this is what your client's going to see, and this is what they're going to get. And I think that's your greatest achievement, is that you've identified that really succinctly. And
and getting your brand colors and getting some really professional photos done as well. You know, it's really, you'll probably see in some of my Facebook and my website and that sort of thing now have professional, you know, sharp images, and they actually wear with a jacket on, come to think of it.
So what advice would you give women who are wanting to create change in themselves but aren't really confident, sure where to make those changes?
In regards to business or just themselves?
Probably, it could be personal, it could be business, they could be in business. We've had so many new startups during COVID, you know, where women have gone
100%
to do this, you know, and I've noticed a lot of new startups. So, you know, it could be startup, it could be in personal development. So what would you suggest?
So what advice would I give people? So the very first thing is, be careful where you take your advice. um,
Feel.
because everybody will give it freely, and we all know if you are in business for yourself, quite often you have very well-meaning family that will tell you, why do you stop doing that and just get a job? I know my dad years and years ago used to say to me, because in hospitality is quite a transient role,
Yeah.
and he used to go, oh my God, you're changing job again. They're never going to want to hire you, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, they did. Look, one of the things I wish I'd known when I started was to never, ever, 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 ever be afraid to ask a question to whoever. So we talked a little bit before we came on live that we have a perception sometimes of people being ahead of us or better than us or whatever. All they've done is maybe a bit more work and taken a bit more steps than you. They've still had the same bull going on in their head.
Yeah.
So I love when I do things like this, because people ask me questions and I actually like not being prepared.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is no silly question. There is, and look for somebody that is at least 3 to 4 steps, if not more, if they're ahead of you in what you want. So you might not know exactly what you want, but you'll know the next couple of steps. So you look for somebody. So I work with a mentor that has built 4 multi-million-dollar businesses from the ground up. Yes, please. I want some of that. Exactly. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a $1 million business now, because I'm not yet. Am I on the way? 1,000,000%. I have no doubt about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So find somebody that is 3 to 4 steps at least ahead of you and has what you want.
Yeah, it's good advice. Good advice.
Yeah, and never be afraid to ask questions.
No, never be afraid. So the last question, my goodness, it's 20 minutes already. I can't believe it. We love our talking, don't we? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Oh gosh. I love these questions.
Thank you.
Where do I see myself in 5 years' time? So in 5 years' time, I see myself with a higher end online business that it will have grown, that it's almost going on its own, which is, semi there at the moment. It's quite automated, and we're building and building. So I see that as being up to that million plus. Within 5 years. Me personally, within 5 years, I see me still working, but because I'm not ready to lie down and just stop yet.
Much wisdom to give still.
Yeah. So, but I see myself being traveling a lot more, obviously with restrictions, traveling a lot more, showing up a lot more, but in a different way. So having more, I'm tempted to say balance, but I quite have a lot of balance right now. But I suppose that the hard yards are still, we're still building and whatever.
Hard yards, yeah.
Yeah. So I think there'll come a point where I'll have more people working for me. It'll run like a well-oiled machine. It won't need me in it as much.
Yes.
I can be on it,
yep.
working on it, and not in it all the time.
Yeah.
So, but in 5 years' time, I'm kind of tempted to say living my best life, but I kind of think I'm living my best life already. So it's a challenging one to answer. Yeah.
Travel. Is that travel Australia or is it travel world? If we're
my goodness,
able to again.
I'm an avid traveler, so and both would be the answer. But to have more time to do it, and that's why I love that kind of final push that has put me online, because now I already had it to a point that I can take a laptop and go. I mean, last year when I was in Ireland running that event, I was running everything in Australia from my computer. Took over my sister's dining table, bless her, and I still was talking to my clients, everything like that. And I think now we've orchestrated it that it's even more so that. So I would love to, around Australia, I would certainly love to do a big trip in a caravan. around Australia. I'm not really into camping that much. I don't want a tent. I want a caravan with all the amenities in it.
I've done the tent when I was younger. I'm not doing the tent now. No.
Oh, apparently we are this year. But yeah, I'd love to drive around, but have the flexibility to say, you know what, I like this place, I'm going to stay a few weeks longer, or I like that place, well, I might stay, that sort of thing. But the same internationally. I mean, as I said to you, when I went to Ireland, I stayed in Ireland for 4 weeks. Then we went to Greece, which was always on my bucket list. And then we went back to Italy. My partner came over and we went to Greece and Italy. And then I came home. So that was kind of a 6-week trip. I would like to be able to do that over 3 or 4 months.
Yes.
Those sort of things. So yeah.
Beautiful.
And there's so many. I mean, I don't think I'd ever run out of the places to travel and not have to think, oh, you know, I'm traveling, how much money do I spend there? How much do I spend there? To just go and really immerse yourself in it for as long as you feel like it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's beautiful. Well, we've come to an end. So I guess that's probably Carmel in a nutshell. But could you please, I guess, do you have anything that you could offer any of our ladies, you know, maybe a 15-minute chat, you know, if they've got a business and they'd maybe like to talk to you about it, or I don't know, put in the links to your group so they can join.
Sure. So I'm absolutely happy to. So I do have, if people are in business, 1,000,000%, I do have a free PDF and or a webinar, which is about uncovering your, you know, the 5 steps to uncovering your lucrative target market. So you can start really getting to do that. So pop that in. And look, I'm always happy to do a 15 or 30-minute call with anyone that's kind of going, okay, I'm in business, I'm kind of in business, I'm new, or I'm in the middle and I just need to get to that next level, but I'm not sure where. Absolutely happy to do a power session with them. And I can tell you the next 3 steps you need to do, whether that's with me or somebody else in that call, absolutely 100%. So what I'll do is I will put just under this, in this group, you mean? So I'll put a link in there for an appointment with me, and I'll put the link for the webinar or the PDF.
The PDF, probably the PDF, if they'd like the PDF that way.
Cool. Okay, I will put those underneath. Thank you so much. And look, I'm a big action taker. So I would encourage people that if you want to come on the call, that, you know, be ready to take some action, because we're going to point that out and show you straight away, and support you all the way if you need that too.
Yeah, you are an action taker, Carmel. That's why they call you the communication queen.
They've called me a few other things too, but that's okay.
Well, you can get caramelized if you really.
Have you been caramelized? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So thank you so much. Happy Christmas, and you know, all the best for 2021. I know that it's going to be an exciting year for all of us. Probably won't catch you between now and Christmas and the festivities. So take care and enjoy this time with family and loved ones. I'm sure you will. And yes. I'll see you next year. Hopefully we'll have something going again next year and get you in and have another little conversation.
Conflab.
Yeah.
Lucia, thank you so much for inviting me in and having me here in your group. I've really loved it. And I love having questions that, you know, are kind of a bit from the side or something like that. So absolutely happy to help in any way I can, and enjoy your family time with your loved ones as well, and have an awesome Christmas. I can't believe we're saying Merry Christmas. No matter how long I've been in Australia, summertime for Christmas, what is wrong with that? It's crazy.
The snow, and here I am in the heat.
Yeah, I know. It just doesn't seem right. But you enjoy it, and as you say, may 2021 be all that you have anticipated and more.
Thank you, everybody. We shall see you next week with our next interview and coffee chat. but thank Carmel. And if you'd like to receive that PDF, just pop in the link below that you'd like the PDF. Have a great day.